Well, good evening, WNBA and LA Sparks fans, and welcome into the LA Sparks 365 Network, your 24/7, 365 comprehensive home of the WNBA and your two-time WNBA champion LA Sparks. And welcome in, folks, to the two-man show of record that is called The Guys with the Petition, folks. Good evening, everybody. Cal McClure joining you here from Studio 171 in San Diego. And that gentleman in the hangout is Chris Romancy from the Heart Studios up in Anaheim, California. Chris, good evening, man. How's it going tonight? And apparently we have lost Chris already, apparently, so we will...
Just...
All right, there you go. Go for it, dude.
No, just hanging here. I can't talk right now because just so excited in one more hour.
Folks, we do have something special to celebrate in 59 minutes and counting, folks. We'll get to that, though, in a few minutes here, folks. There is some work to be done, though, folks, but the reason why, folks, we are coming to you guys so late and going into so early tomorrow morning, folks, we are here a bit early, folks, but I will say it, folks, but happy early 21st birthday, folks, to that man in the hangout, folks, Chris Woodmansey, folks, turning the big legal 2-1 tomorrow, but that's why, folks, we're coming to you guys so late tonight and into the early morning of Saturday. After this show, folks, we will have a bit of a Sparks Fam / Fab Form edition of a random show we're going to be doing, folks, at about 11:30 after this one. And we're just going to be, folks, basically just having a regular hangout we would have off air, just live for everyone to see until about 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's why we're here this late in the evening. But, Chris, there is some work to be done, though, man, before we get back to the turned-up process, as you like to call it. So we'll get to that in about 28 minutes. So keep the turn-up dial back a bit, but we'll get to that momentarily. But, Chris, I know, man, that you were a bit bummed and upset because we had the first official 365 meet and greet night on Wednesday night at Staples Center, where you had some problems there with your work schedule. Then we won't go into that garbage either. But Chris, it kind of got swept under the rug a little bit because Chris, for one, it took me 4 hours to get from here, from point A to point B on Wednesday, and there really wasn't like anyone really to, I guess, meet. But we had the event, Chris. It went off pretty good. I mean, we saw some people, not a lot, the normal people, like Dak Nick and Vicky Russo did not make it on Wednesday. She was up the Orange County Fair on Wednesday, but we saw, the normal group, and that was good, Chris. And so a few people asked where you were at. I said he's had some problems with his work schedule lately, so. Chris, apparently you were missed by the fans that showed up on Wednesday, man, but everything went off great, man, and I know that you missed it, that you really wanted to be there, man. But at the same time, though, I know that you wanted to interact during the meet and greet night, though, man, but, I mean, what we're going to do is, do not worry, folks, you'll do it again next year. But, Chris, what were your thoughts, though? I mean, because we roughly scheduled that event, before your transfer to the other Goodwill up there in in the Orange County area. But what were your thoughts, though, about this night, though, where we would get social with the fans live at the game in person, photos and everything else included? But I mean, what was your thoughts, though, when we kind of talked about this event in the first place, though, a few weeks ago?
Just a great idea, meeting with the fans, and everything that watch our network, and everything is awesome.
Again, folks, the Sparks 365 Network host meet and greet night was this past Wednesday. I posted a few photos on Facebook today because I basically broke my camera roll the first game I went to, and I knew that second game I really would not have taken too many photos of the event because we knew what had occurred on the first game of the year. But Chris, this event was more so for, I try to work it out where we could both go to a game for once and sort of, I guess kind of get the thank yous people have been holding on forever because, the off-season petition is the reason why we brought the petition show on for tonight. So it was more so that we could go to a game as a unit for one, as a tag team, because without yourself mostly, but both of us though, the Sparks wouldn't be in LA, or the league could be dead and buried and gone perhaps. So it was more so that we could both go to a game, be seen by the fan base, and kind of, I guess, finally be thanked for the off season. Also, I mean, just to have a good time though, Chris. But above all though, man, I mean, this event as well was, for the fans, because we know, Chris, that the Sparks fan base is probably the most loyal and the one that has the most class, and everything else included, of how we've been, pretty much, how we've been accepted into the little clique, you can say, Chris. And also, to show sports fans that it's okay for guys to watch the WNBA. I mean, that's for one deal as well. And, Wednesday night, Chris, went off well. And there's a few thank yous I have to give out later on in the program, and, of course, the highlight of the night as well coming up later. But, again, man, when we do this again next year, what are you hoping for fans when they come to the game that we designate as the post-meeting night? What are you hoping for that the fans get out of in the next year during the 2015 season?
I don't know, a awesome network wishing us an awesome show and stuff like that.
So again, folks, look for the 2015 date when the schedule comes out, because we will get to the next point, folks, again, which is concerning next week and the following week after that, folks. Now, again, I said it last night, but I'm going to say it here again. And again, I am on a jet plane from Los Angeles International Airport, folks, to Honolulu next Thursday morning. So we are going to be doing either one of two things, folks, which is either little coverage. What we're probably going to be happening, folks, is no coverage at all of the next 2 weeks, folks, which would mean there will be no shows until after the last game of the year on the 16th, folks, because for one deal, I'll be too busy sightseeing. I'll be in the water, in the beach, because my hotel is right there on Waikiki Beach, so I'll be in the, getting my surf and my paddleboarding and all that on as well. So we're working out the schedule, folks, but if anything, we'll probably have some sort of coverage in some small fashion of the WNBA and the Sparks from my hotel room, either in my room or on my balcony. We'll have something like that for you folks when that time comes. But again, folks, July 31st to the 16th, there will be vacation, and there probably may not be coverage of the Sparks and the WNBA. So if we're not on the air for 2 weeks, don't ask why. You know why already, folks. I'll be on vacation, everything else included. It would be nice if Chris could cover, folks, but unfortunately, if you don't know, Chris comes into these Hangouts live from his mobile devices. He does not have a computer, folks, so Chris cannot stream the events live here for the fans out there while I'm on vacation. But Chris will try our best to get some sort of coverage in while I'm over there. But Chris, don't count on it, unfortunately, and take some time off, because we've been here, man, since the off season throughout the entire year. So I think we both deserve a few weeks off, I think.
Yep, I agree.
So again, folks, I will be on vacation again, July 31st to August 16th. So we'll work out our programming schedules at a later time and date. Chris, getting back to the event on Wednesday again, which was the Sparks Liberty game for one deal, of course, and everything else included with the host night. But Chris, again, there's a few thank you, Chris. More thank yous again from my side of the story here. Again, we know that there was a laundry list of thank yous back on May 18th and then the day afterwards, Chris. But this one, though, is not a whole lot. It's just a few smattering of thank yous here. But of course, Chris, a big thank you to @SaySamIam on Twitter, Chris, for the great hospitality and the hookup with the tickets on Wednesday night. She got me and the two people I brought with me to the game on Wednesday night in the same section I was in for my birthday, a bit lower towards the court. And actually, Chris, I actually have to throw out a whole thank you to the entire Sparks team for the high five at the end of the first half during halftime, which included everybody, including the coaching staff, as well at halftime, including Chris's favorite player. I know he's kind of jealous about that. And then, of course, Chris, the bigger thank you, of course. Chris, I'll let you fill in the blanks for that last thank you that occurred after the game.
To Candace Parker.
Folks, again, if you did not catch the game on Wednesday, you're not here. Candace did not play Wednesday night because, again, she was battling her strained right knee on Wednesday night. So I kind of got fortunate that she did not play on Wednesday because I do not think I could have snagged this, or snagged these, I should say. Only problem is, folks, I only have one of them on my desk because the other two are up on my wall over here that you guys cannot see. But, Chris, before we get to the item on my desk here, it was sort of a blessing in disguise for one that she didn't play, because I don't think even if she did play, I wouldn't have been able to snag something very important from her. But at the same time, though, I was bummed though that she didn't play, because I think had she have played, Chris, we would probably be talking about a LA victory, not another LA loss at home on Wednesday night versus.
Yep, I agree.
So. Again, folks, the reason why I got lucky here is, I was, about 11 rows back from the court, but I was right along the aisleway from the Sparks tunnel, so I just, walked down a few steps and got as close as I could to the tunnel railing barricade area. So like normal folks, you know her very well that Candace always, after any game, she always goes and sees Yeldon and Layla over at the far end of the court. So I got it. So of course I had it. I got down as close as I could. So with her not playing, which was one deal again, she was the last one to leave. So of course, Chris, there was a few things I wanted her to sign, but there was one though that was in particular for her to sign. So I do have it, folks, back in its frame, but I don't know if you guys can see it though, because she went black on black with the ink though, Chris. But if you can make out, I don't know about this light though, but you can kind of see it right here though. But if you guys follow me on Twitter or on Facebook, I did finally scan the photo today. And you can see the autograph, though. But the autograph was one deal, man. Better part, though, is he recognized me. And that's saying a lot, Chris. And that's why I was kind of marveling at you with with my two friends that I brought with me, Chris. Is, not many athletes would be able to recognize somebody that, that normally kind of is a fly on the wall somewhere in their house or near their phone, perhaps, Twitter or Instagram, Chris. But to know, though, that Candace recognized me as one deal, Chris, fulfilling that she knows who I am, and that she, and she's seen all the edits and artwork, and she really likes it. But two, Chris, that these athletes don't just care about themselves; they actually care enough, Chris, to actually recognize someone that they've seen from somewhere in particular. And they have probably, Chris, like on like Wednesday, that they've never met the person in person until they do finally meet them, Chris. But it does show you, Chris, that there is that other side of an athlete, that they're not just worried about, their fame, their career, their team, Chris. But also, though, man, they do show that they do care about their fans. And that's the best part, Chris, about every WNBA players. They can show you that soft side, though, that, Chris, generally, most of your athletes, like LeBron and Kobe and Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Chris, they won't show you because they're too caught up in the bigger picture, apparently, to them, which is, about their career, where some athletes, Chris, can dial it back a bit and actually realize that other side of the story, which is, of course, the loyal fans of the franchise that they play for.
Yep.
So, again, folks, I can only show you the one autograph again, and I know that the lighting in here is atrocious because the light is right behind me here, but again, Candace did finally sign the photo again, folks. You can kind of, let's see if I can move it back, move it forward. I don't know what to do, folks, but again, you can make it up for yourself right there, folks. It's right there. The other two, though, I can't show you because they are plastered up on my bedroom wall over here. But she did sign, she did sign two edits that I did print out, though, which turned out very good. So it's good to see, though. But again, Chris, it just wasn't, putting me on cloud nine, and I've been that way since Wednesday, that I finally met this person that I've connected with so closely over the past few years, and, for her dragging me into women's basketball along with Diana Taurasi, Chris. But again, it's going back, though, Chris, to that point, though, again, that these athletes, again, especially the WNBA players, again, it's just more so, again, that they can show you that soft side that a lot of athletes, Chris, seem to lock up inside, and they don't have a key to, they have no key to unlock that lock, which is also good to see, though. But if you guys don't know, again, I actually met Candace twice in one night on Wednesday. If you guys or if you guys don't know, because I haven't told you. So after the game was one deal, but Chris, as you know, we got a few that got some connections with some members of the front office and a few other places, Chris. So again, I got another post-game autograph coupon, Chris, for Candace and Faria Avi. Chris, it was to the point, man, where I wanted to basically, like, say, sorry, Faria, I'm going to go to the person next to you, which was Candace, but I did get to sign one of my tickets. But Chris, again, it's not about Candace recognizing me, Chris. It's just the fact that it was a in and out double that I got to meet her twice in one night. But the best part of Chris is she recognized me, Chris. But two, though, she asked if I was coming to last night's game against Phoenix. I said I couldn't because I'll be going on vacation and stuff. But I don't know, man, I'm glad I didn't because of the final score last night. It was pretty ugly. But Chris, it was good though, man. Once more, I'll be a broken and Chris. For one, an athlete recognized one of their diehard fans. But two, though, she was, again, nice enough to sign all the autographs and talk to her. But oh man, it's in a roundabout way. After she signed the two edits that are on my wall, saying that she likes the artwork that I've done. And she, basically, Chris almost said, or it looked like in a roundabout way, she's seen them all and she loves them all, and that's the best part about it. She may not reply back or something, Chris, but they know though that they really do appreciate all the artwork that I've done or somehow that's able to muster up and do. But I don't know really else to say, man. It was just finally, the autograph bucket list, Chris, is finally almost complete. And that was like one of the last autographs I was really waiting to get. So, I'm very fortunate and very, very honored, I guess, to finally get the autograph of arguably the greatest basketball player in the world, man. And, of course, I sent her the photo. Of course, some word about that, but what's more, Chris, I'll go back to the point I made, man, again, one more time, Chris, but again, it's just the fact, though, man, that this athlete, Chris, this player that's become, Chris, a household name from her career at Tennessee into now in the WNBA, Chris, that is able to recognize one of her most loyal and most diehard fans, Chris, and that's the best part about it. I can't really push that enough, Chris, that it's one athlete again, man, that's able to sort of show that soft side that no one really in particular does show. So, of course, I'm gonna be super pumped, super excited, on cloud nine, starstruck, and like I told Shorty and Chris, I could have left Staples Center. They got ran over by a damn garbage truck. I could have died a happy man on Wednesday night, Chris, because I finally got something I've been wanting for the past 10 years, man. That was Candace Parker's autograph, and I finally got it, Chris. Now it's just a matter, though, man, next year of getting either a back-to-back photo with her, with our backs to each other because we're the same height, or just one in general, Chris. So that's the only thing to check off next season is a photo with Candace Parker next season, and we will work on that again when the 2015 season rolls around. But, Chris, your last thoughts about the meet and greet night, the autographs I got, and again, Chris, just the fact that Candace Parker recognized me from Twitter and Instagram, and about her also showing that soft side, recognizing somebody she's talked with a bit on social media. But again, it's just finally we see an athlete, Chris, that's able to be bigger, be that loyal athlete to the fans that most athletes, Chris, just don't do on a consistent day-to-day basis.
Just an awesome 365 Network meet and greet on Wednesday night, and awesome that Candace Parker recognized one of her diehard fans, and yeah, just very awesome.
Chris, I'll throw one more caveat in there too. I actually met both Candaces on Wednesday night. I will mention that too, that I got a wave and a hello from Candace Wiggins after pregame warm-ups as well. So, of course, the Candace San Diego resident over here finally got to meet future mayor of the city, which will be her in a few years because we're going to change the name of this town pretty soon. So, Chris, that actually made my night too, that I met both my favorite players on the team between Parker and, of course, my homie, my go-to homegirl here in San Diego, Candace Wiggins.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, so we will take a 10-minute break, folks. When we come back, prepare for the longest hangout in network history, folks. You know what folks, we know that we had a 365 episode that ran an hour this year, folks. Don't even bother, folks. This one's going to last until about 2 o'clock, 2:30 tomorrow morning, folks. Coming up next, folks, is a completely random live hangout, folks, with myself, Chris, and we'll see if we can get Shorty Mamba 24, Tanisha Hardy, and possibly Crystal Thomas, folks. The 365 birthday hangout for Chris is coming up in 9 minutes here, folks, right here, the LA Sparks 365 network, folks. So please, whatever you do, folks, don't go away. And if you want to join in, folks, you guys can hit us up on Twitter during the next lengthy hangout, folks, with the hashtag of Happy Birthday, Chris. That'll be coming up, folks, in about 9 minutes. We're going to be back here with the longest hangout here on the network coming up right after this break.